now.
Glory hallelujah.
For blue team, we have Karma mid. Wow. Jax top, Caitlyn and Thresh bottom, and a Mumu in the jungle. And then on purple team, we have Fizz mid, Renekton top, Sivir and Blitzcrank bottom, and Udyr in the jungle.
So I do have someone sent me the bans. Okay. Purple team was Kassadin, Nasus, and LeBlanc. And then on the other side, blue team, we had Elise, Yasuo, and Vi bans.
All very standard bans.
Yep.
A blue team, I really like the Karma mid because Jax and Amumu can really benefit from the AoE speed buff, and Mantra Q damage is still nothing to sneeze at. She also has the ability to disengage off of Fizz, especially considering Fizz has Barrier and Ignite. He has no Flash, so Troll Pole is his only mobility.
Also, cool story, W continues hitting even when you're in Troll Pole.
Well, I'll get dunked on Fizz.
And you have a shield. And you have crazy low-range burst. It's wonderful!
And Mantra W means, like, if Fizz is in her face, she has options.
Yeah, she can heal. Unfortunately, he does have Grievous Wounds, but, oh, it's so good.
The Sivir is a very good pick against Caitlyn. Caitlyn's Ace in the Hole and Traps can both be dodged with Spell Shield, which means Sivir has a major advantage. She does have lower range, so it's not a foregone conclusion, but Sivir does have a major advantage. We have Hook City going on bot with Thresh and Blitzcrank. That's very interesting. Blitzcrank, I know you don't like Blitzcrank, but he is the best support at spoon feeding his carries. And I don't mean he's the best at getting kills or the best support. I mean he's the best at, like, if you have a very slow or dull ADC, even Blitzcrank can gently spoon feed kills into their mouth.
And I'm pretty sure Blitzcrank is that sea lion thing, where it's just like, here, eat it, I killed it for you, please, just stick it in your mouth and eat.
You stupid ADC, like, I bring you food, eat it. Meanwhile, Thresh has a similar level of engage, but he does have to put himself into some risk. However, his Lantern means that you can probably escape from a Blitz hook. That combined with Caitlyn's traps means that bot may have trouble sticking to them.
But what if they don't like sticky bottoms?
You gotta push that bottom then. Push that sticky bottom. Wink!
Maybe later.
If you have a sticky bottom, you should have a bath.
It's true. Alright, so we are loading into the game now. If anyone has questions, feel free to ask in chat, and we'll try and make you so happy.
So Butter Hero's name in-game is Butter Hero 53, which is like, are there another 52 Butter Heroes? Is this like the Green Lantern Corps, except with butter?
I'm pretty sure he was born in 1953, so he has some issues with butter at this point.
So I'm playing Draw Something with, like, this kid, and, like, this person sucks at Draw Something. Like, they're so bad at Draw Something that it should be a crime, alright?
Okay.
And then I noticed their name is, like, something something 2005, and I'm like, they were born in 2005.
Oh.
And then I just fell over and started sobbing and, like, shaking uncontrollably.
Also, Derp was asking why we can't see bans and asked if they broke something. Yeah, they broke a lot of things. Basically, if I try and make a room and I go into the spectator portion of, like, the actual room, no one can join. Because it considers the room full, even though I'm in the spectator section rather than in the in the actual players list. So, yeah, there was that, and then also if you're spectating off of someone, you can't see bans anymore.
Yeah, well, it's kind of held together. Not the game itself, but the client is just held together with duct tape and gum and a dream right now.
This is the last workshop game, but we are doing viewer games after. So if you want to play with me, then we'll invite you.
Wink.
So much winking. I'm really excited for my Jinx cosplay. Like, you have no idea.
I think we're all excited for it.
I got all the supplies, and the wonderful lady at Ardene's tried not to judge me too much, but she judged me harshly.
To be fair, Ardene's like clientele is like 12-year-old girls. Like I shopped the
No.
hell out of Ardene's when I was
No,
12.
according to the clerk, they get a lot of very large drag queens who come in there because they can buy like horribly produced, sparkly, gaudy, giant outfits.
Wow, I never thought there would be like a company with overlap between 12-year-old girls and drag queens, but
I'm pretty sure all
yeah.
companies have overlap between 12-year-old girls and drag queens. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the two
apparently,
major demographics, I guess.
apparently, she was saying like, we just kept having them come in, and they kept saying it wasn't for them. So then the one day I was like, dude, you've been in here like 3 times. Like, what is it you're using these for? And apparently, yeah, they're drag photographers. So they come in and buy like all these sparkly platform heels in the largest size they come in.
Whoa, wait, hold on. If Ardeen sells like drag queen size shoes, I gotta visit them because I want some sparkly slippers to wear. And like, I got big feet.
According to her, they would sell like size like 10 or 11 or something.
I have huge feet. Like, it's completely
Yeah.
unfair. Like, I wear men's shoes. It's awful. I have to like search and search for pretty girl shoes. It's literally Hitler.
Spoon 95. We did an RP giveaway, we did a Steam game giveaway, and now we're just finishing up our workshop games, and then we're going to be doing some viewer games. We do an RP giveaway every single Sunday, though, so feel free to come back for those next week. We also announce bonus giveaways on like our Facebook page, our Tumblr page, all that sort of shit. And yeah, that's all I have to say on the subject.
Bot lane helping out Amumu at red. Interesting choice. Amumu is less blue dependent since changes to the jungle, but I'm still surprised he didn't start there. It's an ideal sort of start with him.
I'm going to be interested to see how well Jax is able to stand up to Renekton. Jax is going to outscale him by a huge amount, but the early landing phase, as we've said so many times, Renekton's a huge bully. So if he's able to land stuff, if he's able to combo in, he has to be careful on Jax. I would like to see Jax try and rush an early level 2. He just needs to kill this one minion for the trade, but he's taking so much minion damage. He's already lost the trade before he ever really fights.
Right, he's already at half health and he's pushed up. If Udyr were to swing around, Jax would find himself in quite the pickle. Interested to see how bot lane goes. You have Thresh and Kate against Sivir and Blitzcrank. So you got like Thresh kind of counters Blitzcrank, and Sivir kind of counters Kate, so this won't be a binary lane, I don't think. There should be lots of back and forth. It should be quite interesting.
Yeah, it'll really boil down to if Thresh can get tanky enough that a grab isn't going to be his instant death.
Right, they did hit Thresh's early survivability because he was a little much. Alright, we got a Mumu coming mid. Fizz trading lots of damage.
Yeah, Amumu rushed his Q, where he saved it, and that was a great decision, but he waited until Fizz jumped through him, and then waited till Fizz E'd, and then it was just like, oh my god, I have to use E right now. He's already in melee range. You're doing your job, setting up the fight for Karma. Why?
Oh my gosh, so Karma has Ignite ticking on her. Udyr's chasing her down. She's throwing mantras, but it might not be enough.
There's no mana on Karma. She needs to run.
No, Karma, she turns around, hoping to pick up a kill on Udyr, but she has no health, no mana, and they give it up. Hopefully, they don't swing back around and just murder her, which is totally possible right now.
Wait. Okay, so... Oh, okay, starting items bot are weird. First of all, a mana crystal on Blitz, and a Doran's ring on Thresh. I don't agree with that in any possible way. Like, he has some AP scaling, but it's not like it's that good. Blitzhook comes in, lands into the tower, the exhaust comes out, knockup comes out. He's just going to shield himself and walk away, but that is a huge amount of damage onto him.
Blitz is kind of a champion that is impossible to balance because his QE combo is so inherently BS that you can't really tweak it that much.
It is rage-inducing.
Especially when you get to over a wall and you're like, wow, amazing, nothing I can do there.
Karma is bullying very, very nicely mid lane, and that's what we would expect to see. I'm surprised she stayed, honestly, after that fight. But knowing that the barrier and Ignite is down from Lux, or not Lux, oh my god.
12-year-old girls
Fizz.
and fish have a lot in common, so...
They do.
So Renekton has picked up a kill top. So that explains the 300 gold advantage that purple team has. But they're still not too far apart in farm, only 7 farm apart. And farm is pretty even across the rest of the map. Amumu has a slight advantage. But yeah, it could be anyone's game at this point. Because it's only 5 minutes in. But no big advantage either way.
I believe he did pick Jackson to Renekton, but I didn't see the exact order it was done in. I'm assuming he just plans to lose lane but scale up for late game.
Right, eventually you can't stop Jax. He's not like Nasus, where if you poop on Nasus hard enough, he has no impact on the game. Jax will always become Jax at a certain point, unless you end the game at like 20 minutes. But you can definitely slow him down, which Renekton is doing right now by just dishing out tons of damage. Jax just has no mana right now. Renekton has no sustain. He has built-in sustain, and he has no resources to worry about, meaning that he can just pick up the kill without worrying.
So mid lane, we do see that Fizz gets a kill. That boils down to Udyr getting in behind, and then Fizz is level 6. Karma's not, even though, like, obviously she didn't get an ult at 6, but he's just able to follow up the fish and get a free kill. Same thing top lane, though, where the level 6 on Renekton just allows him to fight that Jax so easily, where Jax just doesn't have level 6. He doesn't have the way to trade against that.
I just want to point something out. Karma goes, I'm so stupid. Fizz goes, I missed all those last hits, derp. And Jax goes, I'm doing so bad. Pooping on yourself and pooping on your gameplay isn't productive, and it's not helping you get better. I talk about this in the anti-anxiety guide I wrote. You might think you're like owning up to your mistakes. You might be trying to head off criticism at the past by getting it to it before your team can, but it's not helpful, and it puts you on tilt. It makes you play worse because you're down on yourself. Instead, try saying things like, I need to improve my CS. I really need to watch where I am in lane and work on my positioning. I need to ward more. And so on. It's not helpful to say, I'm bad, I suck, I'm stupid, derp.
For sure. And you may have those concerns where it's like, oh, I need to work on my last hitting. Saying, hey, I should probably focus a little more on last hitting. That's fine, but being like, oh, fuck, I'm missing all these last hits, I'm terrible, what am I going to do, I'm so far behind. That's not productive.
Amumu coming around mid, misses Q. Fizz, who lands the shark on both of them. Karma has Ignite ticking down on her, but we will not see how this engage turns out because Jax is disconnected. Oh my god, anything could happen. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Okay, I also linked that guide for you.
Thank you. Apparently Jax has got to go. What? Guys, please don't sign up for workshop games if, like, you have a variable setting. If you have kids, if you have, if your mom is going to make you go get groceries, if you have any sort of settings which mean you can't dedicate the 40 minutes to an hour to a game, don't sign up. We have viewer games that are a more casual environment. We have all sorts of things for you to partake in, but workshop games, please don't. That's just bad form for the other 9 people in it, as well as all the viewers and spectators and so on.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do on our side. If you guys want, we can just exit this out and go over to viewer games. It really sucks that he has to leave, and I don't want to, like, insult him or anything, but why are you signing up for a game if you have to leave? Like, I don't know. Jared is asking what a workshop is. Workshop games, we spectate lower-ranked players. They're all in assigned roles versus match-made opponents. We then comment on everything from their team comp, gameplay, communication, overall decision-making, essentially, and offer them advice on how they can improve. We then upload those games to YouTube so you can watch it back and learn from your mistakes and focus on your strengths so that you can improve at League.
Hey, Pro, do you want to hear a joke?
I would love to hear a joke.
Alright, a guy walks into the doctor's office and goes, Doctor, I don't know what to do, you need to help me. And the doctor says, well, first of all, I can tell you, you need to stop masturbating. And the guy's like, whoa, why do you say that? And the doctor goes, well, I need to examine you, so can you put your dick away?
Fair enough. They always have to tell me that.
It's a common concern. I'm pretty sure like they should just put a warning sign up on the door.
Alright, so we'll see what course of action they want to take here. I'm fine with them playing it out, or I'm fine with them exiting. That's completely up to them.
Yeah, like we understand life happens, and once in a while, sometimes like there's a crisis, but please do your best to make sure you have 40 minutes to an hour. And if this game is canceled or if they want to quit out, then we'll just switch to viewer games so everyone can participate. Yay! So it looks like they want to play it out. That's definitely a fine choice to make. There are lots of games where somebody goes AFK in Fountain and you still want to work in your fundamentals. So we can definitely continue to discuss the game. We may not have as much useful advice considering the circumstances, but
Yeah, unfortunately, as soon as you have more or less players on a team, it becomes very difficult to offer advice. This is today's last game. We're going to do just viewer games after this. So I like Amumu's decision to just become a lane Amumu at this point and just go up top and try and fight.
right, Amumu actually, he does have problems as a laner, but he can probably hold his own against Renekton. He's naturally tanky, he has the stun and so on, so it's not the worst decision in the world. We have Udyr going around. Looks like he's just going to eat Amumu's jungle from now point on.
If I were them, I would have said, okay, Amumu's gone back, take his top tower. Like, I understand you're trying not to be BM or whatever with it being a 4v5, but if you're trying to end a game, as you should be in solo queue, that would have been my suggestion. Just take the two top, take the tower, and try and push an end.
What did BM come from? Like, it's everywhere. I know it's supposed to be bad manners, but like, it went from never seeing it to being like common parlance.
I have no idea, honestly. I don't know why it became used all the time. Red Spirit is asking, do I prefer Shiv or Phantom Dancer? Depends on the AD carry you're playing. Most AD carries are going to prefer Phantom Dancer. And the time you pick Phantom Dancer is if you are an auto-attacking champion like a Caitlyn or like a Jinx in most games, where you just kind of want to stand back and throw really, really fast attacks with a lot of crit chance. A Static Shiv is more for a bursty AD caster dueling style of a champion, so like a Quinn, a Graves, Sivir sometimes. In those cases, a Static Shiv is usually going to outperform it, because you have that extra burst.
I will be right back.
Okay. So we see Udyr coming in bot. He does get spotted out by a ward, but blue team does not react to it. Also, purple team doesn't react to the gank, so I'm not sure. That's a little bit odd in the way that that's been communicated. I'm not sure if they just weren't on the same page or what, but you need to communicate your ganks to your team and make sure you're on the same page. Nice hook. I like how she has a quote when she successfully blocks things. Fizz landing another kill. Looks like purple team gonna go for a dragon. I'm good with that decision. They've pushed out mid, they've killed mid laner, and they have 4 people. Why not just take the free objective? It's for wave clear, Swaggity. It's wave clear and burst. It's when you can only land 1 or 2 auto attacks before you need to reposition. So someone like a Sivir is going to auto attack W, Q, and then kind of back up and then reposition and maybe throw a couple extra auto attacks. See the exhaust coming through. Box blocks both of them here. Spell shield not connecting there. I don't know if he's lagging or what, but a little bit off on your timing. They're very, very low though. If I were purple team, I'd be trying to siege this in as best I can. Use some boomerang blades, use some hooks. Oh, the hook connects. Not really going to do anything, though. You need to keep in mind when you're playing a hook-based champion like that, what's Caitlyn going to do? She can't join that fight. So it's great that you landed a hook, but you're not going to have the resources in order to actually fight. Yes, we do a ranked workshop every single Sunday. These are all of our viewers. They're in predefined roles in match-made games, and we offer them advice on how they can improve their gameplay, decision-making, communication, everything. So yeah, this is very unfortunate that Jax left. Do you think that Hurricane can be a good item on some champions, like Teemo or some AD carries like Caitlyn? Hurricane is never gold efficient, even in its ideal use, where it's constantly hitting 3 people. Even then, I believe there was some math done that it's just not gold efficient. That being said, it doesn't mean it can't work. It's a luxury item, and it can be made to do a lot of damage. The best success I've seen for it would be Kayle, Teemo, and sometimes Varus. Teemo, it's okay on, but I'd rather like almost any other item, because Teemo is too squishy to survive in auto attack range for more than a quick combo. And surviving in auto attack range of 3 champions, not gonna happen. He'll just die. So we see him just flashing. I think he could have just positioned a little better, not had to flash. Can I do a viewer ARAM? We're probably not going to ARAM in the viewer game, but maybe we'll add it in as like the last match. No, this is all North American server. You need to learn the timing on that so that you can hit it as they come out of it. Does Twitch make good use of Hurricane? Not really. Again, Hurricane range is very, very short. So if you're throwing it on a long-range AD carry, it's not going to do anything for you until they're already diving onto you. And if they're onto you and you're just standing in range for them to be hit by the secondary bolts, it doesn't do much. Also, I believe the bolts do not crit. So yeah, no. If the secondary bolts were able to crit, I think it might be a decent item, but then it could be abusive in certain cases, and that's why they don't have it at the moment. So we already mentioned that, yeah, Phantom Dancer is always going to be better in team fights and sustained damage trades. You only go Static Shiv if you need the quick burst and dueling potential. As we said, it's only used on a few champions now.
I return.
Hey there. Good hook coming in from Blitzcrank. Sivir's a little too low to try and follow this up, though. Her spell shield is not up in order to really set anything up for a kill.
Right, Sivir is one of the lower range ADCs. She does have a lot of burst, but it's sort of a double-edged sword.
Okay, so apparently Udyr is AFKing to try and even things out. He cleared it with me beforehand. I said, like, if you really want to, go ahead. But honestly, at this point, I'm just kind of ready for viewer games.
I mean, we appreciate Blue Team's Moxie. It's just not incredibly productive to give tips in a 4 versus 5.
Yeah. At this point, we can comment a little bit on, like, decision-making or, like, some mechanics, but most of it is not really going to be overly productive advice. Amumu counter-jungling a little bit here. He's going to pick up some extra gold for himself, and I like that decision, seeing as he's not going to really be able to successfully duel the Renekton. Just get gold where you can, right?
Amumu was really hurt, really helped out by the decision that you can get mana regen from small creep camps. Before that, he was utterly reliant on blue. Now he's actually able to start at red, to have more aggressive strategies, and so on.
They also changed to the Spirit Stone now so that AoE spells give it full return on health and mana.
We now have Udyr offering to go AFK, so it's an even game. I don't think that's necessary, but it's a nice gesture on his part.
Yeah, in this case I already cleared it because he's like, well, this is kind of a pointless game. Why don't I just try and even it out? So I said, well, do what you want to do.
It's a nice gesture on his part. We appreciate
sure.
his willingness to sit out to try to make the game more enjoyable for the other players. So Caitlyn picks up her Bloodthirster. That will give her an advantage over Sivir. She does have one kill up on Sivir and a pretty decent amount of farm. She has a Bloodthirster. She also has Berserkers while Sivir is still using Boots 1. It looks like they're both heading towards a Zeal. Whether they'll turn into a PD or a static shift remains to be seen.
I see Blitzcrank going for a Tear of the Goddess. It takes so long to stack on him.
I'm also not sure why Blitzcrank has no gold regen item or gold making item. He has 6 CS, 1 death. He's extremely mana hungry. He's building towards a mana mune, but it's going to take him a while to get there, let alone get items beyond that. I think an ancient coin or even a Aegis would be a good pickup for him.
Yeah, he has no Sight Stone, so he's not going to have any ward coverage. He has no gold pretend items, so he's not going to have any income. And then he went for Tear the Goddess, which takes ages on Blitzcrank to stack. Like, he's not using any skills right now. You literally... When I play it, I literally just spam W and E so it uses them every single cooldown, and it still takes something like 20 or 30 minutes for it to stack.
Meanwhile, Fizz has a major advantage in mid, 3 kills up on Karma, 20 CS, so he effectively has a 5-kill lead plus an assist. So Karma picked up a Chalice, an 18 Soul and Holy Grail. That was a good start because Karma is very mana hungry, but it's not enough to really ward off Fizz with that huge advantage. So now Fizz is able to roam, and Blue Team is going to have to watch out. They do have wards down, but Blitz not warding, and Thrush isn't really warding aggressively either. I would like to see more coverage in the river, at Dragon, etc.
I believe the wards they have down right now, behind the red buff, in the tri-bush, and in the lane bush. The reasoning for that is they're trying to almost turtle and keep Fizz from roaming down, because Fizz is essentially the enemy jungler at this point. He's the one who's going to be ganking. So I think that's his reasoning for those ward positions. They're fine, and they're not going to be able to contest Dragon with no jungler. Or, sorry, they're the one that has a jungler. Yeah, sorry.
Their jungler is top lane though, so
Yeah.
there's that. Mumu uses ult. Mumu is putting on a surprising amount of damage, just sticking to Renekton. He is taking tower shots. Renekton ulted to escape. Both players make it out with just a sliver of health. Here comes Karma. Q is blocked by minions. She shields herself, is looping around, misses another Q, snares Renekton. Renekton laying down lots of damage, and the tower finishes her off.
Yeah, that was a very sloppy dive from Karma. Someone was asking, do I prefer warding trinket or sweeping lens on a jungler? I would start with a ward, and then about level 6 through 10 or 11, somewhere in that place where I'm starting to contest objectives, I'm starting to try and invade enemy jungle a little bit more, and I've already secured my own jungle. At that point, I would swap over to a sweeping lens. Late game, I generally want to see about 3 sweeping wards per team. Generally support mid lane and jungle by them, and sometimes top lane will get them as well.
When you switch trinkets, you're locked out for, I believe, a minute and a half, which is not that much of a penalty for a late game transition.
For sure. So we do have the grab coming in. Fizz is able to follow it through with an ult, and that's going to be a double kill for him. And that should then turn into this tower. Amumu has roamed bot lane here. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. Like, there is 3 here, and his ult is not up. So this is a very, very dead tower. If I were Amumu, I'd notice there's about 15, 18 CS, something like that, top lane. I would just go farm that.
Blitzcrank, we commented on his build shortly ago. He still has the exact same amount of CS and the exact same items. His tier is presumably a little more charged, but he has no wards. He has no real presence with those items. His grab and knockup combo is very strong, but it doesn't really matter if he has no ability to survive.
Okay, so I was completely wrong in that he was able to get some kills bot lane, but he does die in the process. I still think going top would have been probably better. There's about a kill's worth of CS top lane. He wouldn't have died, and it wouldn't have been so risky, because the fact that he got those kills in the first play was essentially sheer luck, or a misplay from the enemy team, whichever way you want to look at it.
Very good flash from Karma, allowing her to escape, but unfortunately it looks like Fizz isn't going to give up. He's swinging around. Looks like he's going to Q to a minion. Nope, he just puts down the ult, but it misses. Fizz ult has a surprisingly low cooldown.
It does, yes. Especially once you have any sort of CDR, which he doesn't have yet. But if you build some CDR on him, it's even lower. Right now it's at about 72 seconds, so it's not uncommon to see about 40-ish seconds late game.
Okay, according to Fate, switching trinkets is actually 3 minutes, so that's not a surprising large penalty. If you switch from a tier 1 trinket to a sweeping lens, you can just pick up a 75 gold ward and cover the area that you would have hit with your trinket. Sweeping lens has such a huge advantage for contesting objectives, for setting up jungle ambushes and laying traps. I really feel it's pretty critical for your team to have at least one, if not two or three.
For sure. It makes contesting objectives so much easier.
When junglers take sweeping lens early on, I don't know if that's 100% necessary, simply because when you're a jungler and you stand and you clear out a trinket wards have such a slow duration, and you're tipping your hand so obviously, I don't know how much of an advantage you're getting out of it for early ganks. Of course, I'm sure someone can tell me that it's actually amazing in chat. I'm not the best jungler in the world, but I'm willing to bet that the small trinket is better on an early game jungler.
It allows you to save your own buff. You get an eye out for them invading your jungle, essentially, right? Generally, when you go to your second buff, you just drop the trinket ward in behind. Boom, they're not going to kill me here. Then you go invade their jungle, right? Drop a quick ward in there. Okay, I can safely steal this. Or you can collapse and smite steal.
Karma's picking up a Sheen. I assume she's going to turn it into an Iceborne Gauntlet. What do you think about that pick?
I dislike it horribly.
I'd like to get Iceborne Gauntlet on Karma occasionally in certain matchups. Do you think it's an objectively bad item, or just on a mid-Karma, or...?
I don't like it on Karma. She has enough slows. Slows don't stack, so just get some CDR elsewise, and you can constantly chain your Q and W.
Oh, ODST, you just started playing the game yesterday. If you add me to the game, my name is Requeen, REQUINE. I have a couple of Smurfs. I would be delighted to show you through the ropes of the game and give you some hints and tips that you might not pick up otherwise.
This Amumu is super tanky. Oh,
so scared.
Caitlyn went way too close. So Caitlyn backed out and then started to ult. If I were her, she had a Mumu in there, just auto attack from max range, keep kiting back and forth, and I think she would have got 2, if not 3 or 4 kills there. And then she just kind of ran in after Mumu died, and of course she got comboed in.
The problem I have with Karma mid right now, in general, is that all of her damage is in Mantra Q, which is minion blocked and dodgeable. So we're seeing that really hamper her. Obviously, Jack's not being here is serious, but Karma is a utility mage mid. She doesn't have much damage of her own, and that's really starting to cause her trouble in team fights.
It depends on how well you use your W, honestly. Her auto attacks are really, really potent. They're, I would argue, the best animation in the game. Like, they're so smooth and so quick. So, lining it up with your W, level 5 Mantrad Q has, I believe, 860 base damage with 150% AP scaling. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous the amount of damage it deals. Combine that with your general combo, including a full channel W and about 4 auto attacks and maybe an ignite, and that's a really dead target. You do have to play it a lot differently, though. You have to play it a lot... I would argue you play Karma mid almost like you would play a Zed, where you're kind of dancing around max range, poke, 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 and then it's just like a huge burst of aggression. You use your entire combo, and people are like, what the hell? I thought you did like 300 damage, and now I'm 0 health.
That's good to know about her W. That's something I'm sure a lot of Karma players at lower elos would love to learn, as her W is kind of a very underrated skill.
Yeah, like right now she has 3 points in it. It deals 160 base damage with 120 AP at the moment. That's not Mantra W. So that's about 200, 250 damage on the W, combined with about 4 or 5 auto attacks as you're chaining it, and it also guarantees the second proc from the Q if you're using it properly. So yeah, it's really, really powerful.
Purple team swinging around, picking up a dragon. We have Karma and Kate in the back, but they're not able to contest it, which is fine. With Blitzcrank, you don't want to even try to steal it from behind.
Oh, Karma going way too close.
Ooh. A lot of the time, people will check Dragon, and a lot of people go, I have to contest Dragon, but against overwhelming odds, it's generally better just to assume it's gone. If you find out later it's not gone, that's a pleasant surprise. Just assuming it's gone and make up a vague timer, such as Dragon, 34 minutes-ish in chat is fine. You don't have to physically check it's gone all the time when you know that they're still there.
For sure. We already raged about the Blitzcrank build. He's now starting a Rod of Ages 28 minutes into the game. Don't do that.
You have Rod of Ages. I think you need to finish it by 18 minutes max. Like that's
yeah,
the
he
highest
still
limit?
only has the Catalyst too.
Well, maybe he's going to bench as well.
It doesn't require it anymore, does it?
Oh, I don't know.
No, it doesn't. This Amumu though is doing work. Like, oh my god. The amount of damage he's doing.
I was doing ranked, and this is like Silver 3, and this would just build full AP. He comes out of the jungle, max range Q, you're dead, cries on you, and your skin
Was it
melts
me?
off. No,
Oh.
no, it's just a random guy.
Oh right, he hit a Q. It couldn't have been me.
Yeah, you weren't really like this guy was full AP, like he was major Moo. You had like all the entries and Rylai's and stuff, but
No,
this
I
guy was
didn't.
like,
I had Death Cap.
oh, I'm sorry, I don't like obsessively check your build after every game because
You
like
should.
a
It's
nerd.
beautiful.
Oh, okay, my bad. Good mantra, good W on Renekton, but it's not enough to stop him. Renekton is just picking up kills left, right, and center. We're seeing here why he is the gatekeeper of top lane. His damage and sustain combined mean if you're not ready to dance in top lane, he will mow you down.
Brian is toasting something and it smells amazing.
I'm so jelly. We bought a $13 waffle iron, and for 2 weeks we just ate waffles every single day in every single way. And
Nice.
now, and then it broke because it was $13.
Well, see, you didn't show up for a housewarming party last night. I got drunk and made cupcakes.
I'm so jelly. I couldn't make it. I didn't know you had to book Mako Bus way in advance for it to be cheap.
See, that being said, though, we get to like, I'll take Via Rail. It's like, dude, Via Rail is incredibly expensive.
I've never left the GTA before on my own. Like, I'm a sheltered little child.
Did you even look up Via Rail though? Because I think it's like
It's like
$120 per
$200.
way.
It was like $200 at
Yeah.
least, and I was like, haha, nope.
Yep.
And then I looked up Greyhound, and that was like $250. And then I looked up Megabus, and I'm just crying.
Yeah. See, Megabus is the cheap option, but it doesn't mean it's actually cheap.
Well, it's cheap if you book it in advance. I didn't know there was a difference. I thought it was just cheap. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, this
this
is.
combo, my lord.
It hurts.
A summoner has disconnected. Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Fizz is a very, his shark is still relying on his combo. Last game we were discussing how Fizz couldn't hit a shark and it was really hampering him. Now we're seeing the opposite. A shark landed is CC, it's burst damage. Also, it's really scary. You see a shark eat you.
It's better if you use the Fisherman Fizz skin though, so that you can have Earth eat people.
Did you see they're coming out with a Void Fizz skin where a giant Void monster eats you?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Do you have strong feelings?
I have so many feelings, but I eat them.
Oh, of course, of course.
I eat all my feelings.
I eat because I'm sad, and I'm sad because I eat.
Yep. Okay, I'm hoping they're gonna end the game now, because this game is just getting silly.
Unfortunately, we can't give as much advice as we would like to due to the... Like, Purple Team got such a massive advantage and so on. Like, we would love to give more specific advice. That's not entirely possible. With the,
Yeah,
the
with an AFK,
circumstances.
it's just really hard to comment on, like, this is what you should be doing.
I would like to congratulate everyone. Nobody rage quit. Nobody, like, freaked out. Like, obviously people weren't giving it 100% and trying like their absolute hardest, but considering the circumstances, that's totally understandable. So just thanks for being a good sport about the condition, guys, and not flipping your minds. We really appreciate when the community has a good attitude about things.
For sure. Alright, so this is going to be the end of the game here. If anyone wants to join our viewer games, please join the Pro for Never chat room in the League client. That's where we'll invite you from.
And this is where I leave. I have stuff to do today.
Okay, well, thank you for all your shoutcasting and hard work. We really do appreciate having you here. Unfortunately, we can't really comment on builds because things were a little one-sided, and there was a lot of sort of cheese builds.
And we did sort of discuss during the game, but yeah. Alright, later, game.